The last game that I played as a demo was a game that came out today, and Raw Fury was so excited to send me a code. 2 different guys sent me 3 codes for it. It's called Esoteric Ebb. I can tell by the look on your face you've seen this.
Yes.
So look, I'm gonna just start off by saying I'm pretty sure that so the lead developer is Christopher Beauregard. I'm pretty sure he does not have the rights to Dungeons and Dragons. However, boy, getting real standing right on that line. So Esoteric Ebb,
Disco and Dragons,
is a Disco Elysium a CRPG where almost all of what you're doing is talking and running skill checks and failing in a Dungeons and Dragons style environment. You play as the cleric, and the disco vibes are omnipresent, right? The very first thing that happens is you're being asked questions by an unknown source as you're falling through a black void, and it's very like ancient lizard brain kind of thing.
Reptilian brain. Yeah, no, the text on the side scrolling is this almost the same font.
It has the same sound effect when the thoughts pop in.
It's the isometric view of the. It's like they're very clearly going like.
Yeah, no, it's
Disco
very,
and
very
Dragons.
obviously.
Yeah.
It's also very, very attached to Planescape Torment.
Okay.
You wake up in the same place in like a mortuary.
Okay.
And there's a lot of Planescape like vibe and feel to it. So unlike Zero Parades, which I played last week, and I think it was really interesting because I described myself playing Zero Parades as 45 minutes. I saw some folks annoyed because I actually only played it for 20. And that means I didn't give it a fair shot. But what it actually means is that it felt like I fucking played it for 45. Even though I only played it for 20. Esoteric Ebb feels more like the successor of, hey, I'm doing something really interesting like Disco Elysium. The first one of those, genuinely.
Okay.
You start the game, and the first thing it asks you is, what kind of cleric are you? And you choose your stats just like you would in Disco Elysium. But instead of the 30 or 40 stats in Disco that were conceptualization and logic and encyclopedia and motorics and hand-eye coordination and, you know, all these very, very like interesting, unique ones, you have the 6 classics. You have strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Like the oldest stats in video games, the best known 6 stat spread that's ever been.
And do those classic stats talk to you?
They talk to you a lot.
That's great.
A lot. So one of the things that showed up is that I rolled a strength wisdom cleric because that's what I would roll in D&D. And the opening sequence that includes, you know, the types of things Ancient Reptilian Brain asks you. Other people had played the demo and were like, this entire sequence is completely different based off of the fact that you put wisdom high.
Okay.
Like it is more variability than what Disco has going on. It included little lines about what I should value in myself that was like color coded according to my stat, which was wisdom. That was the highest one. It included calling me the dumbest cleric that ever lived because my lowest stat was 6 intelligence.
What's the voice acting situation?
None.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I literally was talking to somebody from Raw Fury and I was like, you should give them more money to do voice acting. And they went, ah. That was the official response.
Cool. Right. Press conference.
Was like I can't say anything, but
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So you start of your little cleric is you wake up in the morgue because you got blown up in a tea shop. And you're not investigating a murder, you're investigating a terror attack. You're investigating the bombing of a tea shop. Right? You wake up, can't remember your name. You wake up and your helmet is attached and you go to pull it off and you get a DC 20 strength check that you fail, dex check that you fail, con check that you fail, int check that you fail, wisdom check that you fail, and a charisma check that you guaranteed succeed that goes can't wait till it's off. And so it's different, but it is the expression. It's clearly a send up to the expression.
Okay.
And very, 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 very early in the very beginning, what I discovered was the stats have a secondary layer. So, strength is all about macho, showing off your strength, and dexterity is all about being sneaky and fast and quick-witted, right? Then you would think these things. Mm-hmm. Constitution's about toughing it out. Like it's very natural. The background of the story is that the fantasy setting that you're in is having the first election ever. So it's about politics.
Metaphor?
And each of the stats has a political party that they like.
Ah, that's cool.
So macho dickhead strength loves the fascist party.
Hell yeah.
Dexterity loves the free republics. The Constitution likes the agrarian farmers party. Wisdom likes the workers party. And charisma writes in your own name on the voting box.
Okay. Interesting.
And on top of that, within the first 5 minutes, I learned dancing lights and cure light wounds. And you can rest at any given shrine, and in your encounters, instead of using items or drugs, you're casting classic spells to heal yourself or mitigate damage or do damage. And I also got into a fight, like a real ass Dungeons and Dragons fight with a zombie.
Okay, so there is combat.
The combat is still dialogue based. So like it is, the zombie did this and it was a unique line. What do you do? And it's the two stats, and then pass or fail. And instead of rolling boxcars, you're rolling a D20.
Okay.
Because of a fucking course you can.
Yeah.
I ended up knocking a zombie out and getting to a different part of the room. It is incredibly impressive. Cool. It is super well written. There was a screenshot somebody put up on the subreddit where they were talking to a tiefling, and this tiefling lady was like, yeah, the boys go crazy because I got that demon blood. And Charisma's like, you know what you should say? You should say a bussy. You should just say a bussy.
Okay.
That abyss a bussy.
Okay, so it's got a sense of humor as well.
It's got that juice, man.
That's good. Because we were talking
super impressive.
When we were talking about Zero Parades earlier, and I was kind of saying like, okay, so expectation is you're going to see the mechanics, but maybe not the writing quality, right? And
yeah,
I think that Disco is going to farm in a whole new crop of games that are mechanically going to be following in its likeness. Now, Disco's not
absolutely.
It's not the first RPG of its kind, but it's the first that I can think of where it had like the talking stats, for example.
Absolutely,
and the thought cabinet in that way. So
Disco is, in its core, fundamentally unique from like a gameplay perspective.
Just mechanical, exactly. And I think you're going to see a lot of people emulating that because it's easier to emulate that than it is to emulate the fucking raw Estonian, like hyper political like messaging in the world that Kurvitz was fucking crafting, right? So I'm expecting that like a number of games will come in to play that'll be like pretty fun to play mechanically that are like Disco, because everything we're describing here is like, that sounds cool. I'm not expecting a D&D setting necessarily to hit like the same emotional notes, but if you're saying it does some good shit, then I'm like,
So I
okay.
only played the demo for half an hour. Very impressive. I'm probably gonna go back to it either on camera or off. But it's definitely worth checking out. It's really, really, really cool.
Okay. Yeah,
It's doing zany things. Also, it controls better than Disco Elysium, which is kind of a weird thing to say. Not something you would focus on.
Okay.
Like, it just has better button placement and better ability to like select things in the environment.
Like Disco likes or Elysium likes. So yeah, I like that.
It's definitely Disco.
Yeah. Are we getting the tone or are we getting the gameplay? You know, that's cool.
We're getting. I'd say a somewhat similar tone. Honestly,
Tone as
it's
well?
not as
Okay.
abjectly miserable because it's fantasy.
Yeah.
But your character is an idiot, and they are bad at their job.
Choosing to go comedic inherently makes that pathway easier than
It gives you a nice on ramp to a bunch of stuff.
Bailing into
But
fun.
writing comedy is hard, so it's
yeah. If you're playing it dead serious and doing that, then and we'll have to see how the other games treat it as well. Are the other games going to be like not whimsical, but like dark comedy as well, or are they going to treat it super serious?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting thing because one of the biggest questions I see from a lot of people is how's the voice acting, right? And there's no voice acting, so not available out of 10. And then I compare that to Zero Parades, which is fully voice acted, and I didn't like it.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
I don't know if you saw, but Triple X Night Shift is now called Tangerine Antarctic.
I did not know that.
So that has renamed itself as well.
I'm sure they'll change their names many, 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 many times.
Probably for
many times.
Probably for marketing purposes. You know, Triple X Night Shift might not.
Yeah, it reads like fucking porn.
Might not sit on the shelf as nicely as something else. However,
wouldn't be a disco game from the disco people if they didn't have to change the name. I still think them changing No Truce with the Furies is one of the funniest stories in video games.
It's also the context for the phrase "No Truce with the Furies" is from Sacred and Terrible Air, and the context it's used in fucking rules. It's an awesome title drop.
Every single person who saw the title of that game went, "No Truce with the Furries? What the hell is this game about?"
Right.
It's about it's awesome. That'd been cool, man.
It's great.
So yeah, Esoteric App is super cool. I cannot wait to dig my toes more into it.
It's funny because even in this like disco like way, something like a name like Tangerine Antarctic, it follows the same style of two seemingly unrelated nouns slapped together. You know?
I bet they won't feel that unrelated when you get to the end.
Perhaps not. But if you grab whatever, anything and anything, and you slap them together, yeah.